nothing in his background that can tell us what triggered all of this. In fact, up until Saturday, I didn't believe any of it.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? Here I am in Tacoma, Washington. I've been in Tacoma a few times before, and it's a beautiful little city. I've never covered Ted Bundy really in Washington State at all. I've done a lot of videos on Ted Bundy, mostly Florida, but today I'm doing some locations in Tacoma and Seattle. Kind of going in order, not so much, but I am going to have a Ted Bundy playlist very soon, and it's kind of, I'll put them together. My goal at one point was to do a complete Ted Bundy video from state to state, every location, but that was a little too ambitious. So I'm doing them in little parts. So I'm in Tacoma, and I'm going to walk up the street with my friend Aaron. Aaron's Nerd Stuff. Aaron, like myself, is a true crime person. Yeah, I think it's the best way to put it, because we're not fans of serial killers. No. Ted Bundy, one of the most notorious of all time. Let's see, 20 convictions, right? 30 confessed to, 36 plus suspected of. Where was he born?
He was born in
Vermont. Right, you know this. I know you know more than I do. And then, but he moved to Tacoma from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
With his mother and stepfather?
With his mother's.
Right. And he moved in with his uncle's house.
Yes.
So we're going to walk to where his uncle's house was. Then we're going to, which was primarily his childhood home next, I believe. But right up here, we're going to walk and show you the first house Ted Bundy lived in Tacoma. And we should add that he was only suspected possibly of one murder in Tacoma, right? That was a neighbor girl, a 14-year-old, when he was a paper boy. I think that's the one. But Tacoma is not really associated with any of his murders.
No.
This is where he was his teen years, early, before adolescence and adolescence. But right up here, let's go for a walk. And here it is. So this is the house he lived in. How long did he live in this house for?
He didn't live here for very long at all before he and his mom moved to their own place. So
right.
It's like a transitional thing.
He had a couple of cousins that lived in the house too.
Yeah.
Small house for that amount of people. Mm-hmm. This is it. Okay. So we're gonna walk now down a little bit to Sheridan, and this house he lived in when?
So he and his mom, after living with his uncle, moved into their first home, and this was in 1951. They lived here until 1953 when they moved again.
Okay. And we're gonna go to that house too.
Yeah.
All right, let's walk. So this is his childhood home for 2 years, what we're looking at right now?
Yeah.
2 years, wow. So he would have been how old?
He was born in 46, so about 5.
Okay. All right, let's go on to the next house, the one that he lived in for probably the longest time of his period of his life, living in one place.
His childhood, yeah.
His childhood. So Aaron, we're right beside a busy freeway here, but I believe we're going to the house right now that he lived in the longest, probably of his
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, 15 years, right?
Yeah.
53 to 68. And then, because he lived with, he moved around so much, and then was on the run. But then his girlfriend later in life, how long did he live with her for? He lived with her for a while, but not 15 years.
Off and on,
Yeah. So this was his home with his mom, and he lived here from 5 years old, 53, so he'd be 7. Around 7 years old. So 7 to about 22.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, 22. He's 40. Born in 46, left here in 68, yeah.
Math is hard.
Math is hard, but yeah, that makes sense. Let's walk down. This is it. So this house, here it is, right here in front of us. This is it. This is where he lived for 15 years. So when a young girl was murdered in this neighborhood, he was a paper boy, right? This is what I read, and he was kind of a suspect, but never anything proven, never admitted to it, anything like that. But I mean, as we know with serial killers, they're up to no good from a young age. God only knows what went on in that house, right?
Can't imagine.
You know, what he was doing and what he was thinking. But that's the main house right there. Okay, now we're gonna they moved again. We'll take you to that house right now, which is about a 10-minute drive. So Aaron, this house that we're going to next is his last house he lived with his mother before moving out on his own.
Right. He only lived here for a short time in 1968.
We already drove by. It's a nice house.
Yeah.
Really nice house. And so let's take a walk to it. Down a few streets and around. And here we are. So he lived here for, do you know what year it was he lived here?
68.
68, but not for too long. And he left Tacoma, right? We think he left Tacoma.
I think he left Tacoma.
Because the next address that people have listed for him is Seattle, right?
Right.
Yeah. But this is his last home. Okay. Let's go to Seattle. So we made it to Lake Sammamish, which is east of Seattle, and we decided to come here because this is a very important part of the Ted Bundy story. This is where he kidnapped 2 women, Janice Ott and
Denise Nasland.
Right. Used the trick of saying he needed help with his sailboat, right?
Yeah.
Now there's a very famous photo taken here where there's 2 Volkswagen Beetles. We all know he drove a Volkswagen Beetle. It's never been proven that either one is his, right? And I was reading really in depth last night about it, and he never admitted to it that happened to be. It's not him that you see. There's somebody behind the wheel of one of them, and they ruled out that that's not him, but there's another Beetle. But because there was a photo taken on the same day, because there was like a bunch of bikers or something going on here, so law enforcement was here. So there's a very famous photo taken on that same day. But 2 women, one right over here, and another one over that way. Let's walk over and take a look. So if we look on an aerial map, which shows where the women were taken from, I believe, if we go right through here, Janice was taken just over there, correct? It's just right about, see where that green sign is? It says it's about right there, right?
Yeah.
That Janice, yeah, right about there with that, yeah. Wow.
And then Denise was a little bit farther back, but on the same side of the beach.
Yeah, she was, so Janice was by herself that day, right? She came out to suntan.
Yeah.
But Denise was with her boyfriend and another couple. She went off to use the restroom, which would be around that way. And he got them both. But he took them separately. He took Janice first, right?
Yes.
Came back a few hours later.
After he killed her.
Right.
Came back for another one.
That's on the same day. But this is the famous, infamous, I should say, beach where Ted Bundy took 2 of his victims. And we're going to try to make it to one of those victims' graves. Yeah, we think we can make it today, hopefully. We hope to. But yeah, this is it. We're just looking, that's about where that Ranger truck is going by. That's roughly where Denise was taken from. But the row of cars, it looks like it's right around there of that famous photo.
Right there.
Oh, it's on that side. It's over there. He was here that day. Wow. We were just saying as we were walking back from the food area and the beach, like how many people were here that day? There
were thousands of people here.
Yeah, like it was packed.
Yeah.
How did he do it? Like to get them into the car with the struggle without being seen.
Yeah, I feel like he was getting more and more bold.
Yeah.
Because he was getting away with.
Yeah.
He started with abducting women from their houses, like their rooms, and then college campuses late at night, and then all of a sudden he's doing it in broad daylight.
Yeah, like that's.
There were so many witnesses.
Yeah. Well, witnesses, but not witnesses, because so many people, but not really witnesses, because they didn't witness.
But actually, one person heard one of the girls, him introduced to himself as Ted.
Right, that's right.
And so they saw the car. They knew his name, all because of this.
Oh, that's right. He said his name.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we are at Sunset Hills Memorial Park, Bellevue, Washington. We're about 10 minutes from Lake Sammamish. We're visiting Linda Healey, and Linda was taken from her home right off campus somewhere.
Yeah, in 1974. And then her body was not discovered for a year.
Right. And she's the first confirmed victim of Ted Bundy?
First confirmed.
Wow. So up here, just beyond this next walkway, I believe. Right down here, here's the office, if you're coming, I believe we're in the right area. And I think Linda should be right around here, Aaron. On this lawn somewhere.
She's with her parents.
She's with her parents, okay. So here it's a little off. Find a grave will take you into this section, but she's actually right over here with her parents, James and Joyce. Linda, like we said, 1974. Her father lived to 1998. Her mother lived to 2020. So 24 years of heartbreak and then 46 years for the mother. I always think of that, how long they lived afterward. Just destroyed. You can't be, just absolutely destroyed. Aaron, can I get you to place that for me? Section T here at Forest Lawn, Seattle. No pin to the grave we are looking for. Aaron's all the way over there. I'm here. Even the markers in the ground that usually give you an indication what lot you're in are few and far between. But we're looking. Well, after much searching, we found who we're looking for. Beloved daughter and sister, Denise M. Nasland, 1955 to 1974. And Denise is...
One of the victims found, or one of the victims of Ted Bundy that were taken from Lake Sammamish.
Yeah, so we just were.
Yeah, and he confessed to her murder shortly before his execution. She was only 18.
She was 18?
Yeah.
So she was the one that was with her boyfriend and another couple. And she went to use the restroom. And her father is here as well. My beloved Robert. Died in 1988, so 14 years after. Okay, so usually I end the videos at the grave I go to, or graves in this case. But we've got 2 more locations we're going to take you to north in Seattle. Let's go. So, Aaron, we just left Denise's grave. But before that, we were at Linda Healey's. Where are we now?
We're at Linda Healey's, where she was living at the time of her abduction.
And where she was taken from.
Where she was taken from, yeah.
She was abducted from this house, right?
Yeah.
The basement.
Yeah, she had a room in the basement, and she shared the basement bedroom with one other person. The night that she disappeared, her roommate didn't hear anything. And so when she didn't show up to places that she was supposed to show up at, they investigated the room a little bit more and discovered there was blood on the pillow in her room. And so...
And the bed was made.
The bed was made. It was neatly made, like she hadn't been there before, but when they pulled it back, they could see that there was a lot of blood. The clothes that she had worn the night before were missing, but the nightgown that she would have been wearing, because she did say goodnight to her roommates, had blood around the neck.
It was in the closet.
And it was in the closet.
Kind of thrown,
right.
Hidden, sort of.
Yeah.
So what we were thinking, well, as she'd gone for dinner that night with her roommates and then gone to a bar, or had dinner with the roommates, then went to a bar, came back and chatted a little bit, then she went to bed. So they heard nothing. Sounds like he came in through the back door because the back door was open, right? Or something.
Either the back door or maybe the window. I didn't see
they said the back door was open,
yeah.
but we don't know if that's how they just left.
He may have left that way.
May have left that way.
Yeah.
You're right. I see.
But it was a basement room, so there was a window above the stairs in the basement.
Yeah, I don't think he ever said exactly. Was he stalking her? Because the last location we're going to is where he was living, which is not far from here. So was he stalking her beforehand? Did he just see her at the tavern, the bar that night?
Possibly.
Did he break into the house with whichever girl he found, or was he specifically targeting Linda? Like, I don't know. Either way.
Definitely had a type, so
right.
It makes sense that he had seen her before.
Yeah, but this is his first confirmed victim.
First murder, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what's significant and important, but all of his victims are significant and important. Let's walk over to the house and show you what we can show you. Beautiful houses. So I think it's going to be 1 or 2 down here. 19, so it's this one here. The White House here. Wow, and the door's wide open, so this is where, so the basement apartment would be somewhere down there.
Yeah, from the pictures I've seen, it was on that side of the house.
But like I said, right now the front door is wide open. I don't know if there are kids playing or what's happening, so let's be a little brief and just walk by, and we'll walk back again the other way. Don't really want to show inside of somebody's house. Yeah. Wow. Whoa. Oh my God. But Aaron, if you look right here, there are basement windows right there.
Yeah. Just from the crime scene photos that I saw, it looked like the stairs came down a certain way and there was a window above it. So it looks like
the other side.
It looked like it was from the other side, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, there's the house. Okay. We're going to walk back, and one last location coming up for Ted Bundy. So Aaron, we're in the car right now because there's absolutely nowhere to park right around here right now. But we're going around back, but this is the rooming house, right? It was a boarding house when Ted Bundy lived here?
Yeah.
Right around, what year are we looking at?
So as soon as he left his mom's house, this is where he ended up, apparently. And so he was here, okay. He was here September 69 through September 75.
Oh, wow. He was here for a long time,
Yeah.
for almost 6 years living in this house. So now we're going to take you around back because there's something very interesting to show you. Okay, Aaron, so we're here to end the video. I wish we could have got a better shot of the front of the house because even the back is obscured, except
you can see.
yeah, this is nuts. This is the back of the house, and not only is it the back, but tell me which window I'm looking for.
So the upper right-hand window, that's where
Right there.
Ted Bundy's room was.
Wow, that's Ted Bundy's room there.
Yeah. During most,
Most,
if not all,
yeah.
of the murders.
A lot of the murders in the Seattle area. Yeah, most of them here.
Yeah.
He was living here. That's the back there. Isn't that crazy? We're just in an alleyway here. He would have probably parked back here, I'd assume, up and down this alley a million times, right? Like, wow. It's an old house too. Like, look at it. All right, Aaron, so here we are in the back alleyway behind Ted Bundy's rooming house. Right here, 12th Street? 12th? Yeah, all the addresses. You did a lot of research, thank you, Aaron. Most of the addresses are, you gotta dig for a few of them, but if you're looking for them, but.
If I got anything wrong, I apologize.
I don't think you did.
To the family, friends.
Yeah, you did an amazing job. Aaron's Nerd Stuff is her Instagram. We're gonna put it in the link below. And thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Recipes to all of the victims of Ted Bundy, and he's cremated. He's gone. It's not enough.
Oh.
Not enough, though.
No.
You like your chair? Not
Never
enough.
enough.
No. Peace.